So let's take a look at problem number 20. And these terms here are terms for, primarily statistics, but we should be familiar with those. Okay, mean, that means average. That's not the answer, by the way. Mean means average. The median, that means the middle number. Okay, the range is from the lowest to the highest. And then standard deviation, we've talked about before, is kind of how spread out it is. Okay, without getting too technical on that. So in this problem, if we just have a general understanding of those words, the maximum value of a data set consisting of 25 integers is 84. So just think of a number, a bunch of numbers lined up, and 84 is the biggest one. And then a new set of data consisting of 26 integers is created by including 96 into the original data set. So you've got all these numbers here, and 84 was the largest, and then we just add a 96 onto the end there. So which of the following measures must be 12 greater? It's not the mean. Some of you put the mean. The average would be greater, but it wouldn't increase by 12, okay? Because it would move the average up a little bit, but not the difference of these two. Same with the median, okay? The range changes because the range is, from the smallest to the largest. And so our range is still from the smallest, but now it's 12 bigger. So the range increased by 12. For the second problem, this is one of those, be careful of how you read it. Make sure that you understand what X means and what Y means, okay? Clayton will mix X millimeters of a 10% solution. So X is the 10% solution and Y is a 20% solution in order to create an 18% solution. And I started reading this and I was like, oh, that's going to be maybe a little tricky to put that together. But they gave us the equation. We just need to put the numbers in the right place. So it says if Clayton uses 100 milliliters of the 20%, so because it's the 20%, remember, Y is the 20%. So 100 is our Y value. And once we get that, we want to solve for X. So all we have to do is be able to read and know where to plug the 100 in. So I'm plugging 100 in for the Y's. So I have 0.10x plus 0.2 times Y, which is now 100, is equal to 0.18 times X plus 100. Okay, and then we just solve that. And this is this is part of the calculator portion. And in fact, we can use our graphing calculator to solve that. And you guys are good at the algebra, and you probably could just solve that. You might use a calculator also. But I'm gonna pull up my graphing calculator here just to show you real quickly that, because you can remember, you can use the TI Nspire CAS on the SAT. You cannot use it on the ACT, but you can on the SAT. So mine is just opening up here, so give me just a second. And in fact, I'm going to come back to that problem, and I'm going to move on to the next one and then come back to that when the calculator is open. All right, for problem number 22, it says the first year, Eleanor organized an event. She invited 30 people. For the next 5 years, she doubled. So she had, 30 the first year, and then doubled it to 60 the next year, and then it kept doubling, and then it was 120 and 240 and so on. We're trying to figure out if it is decreasing linear, increasing linear, decreasing exponential, increasing exponential. I really hope you didn't look at that and say, well, I don't know, and just guessed, because it's obviously increasing if we just think it through, right? If you're doubling the number of people, we know it's increasing. So just by knowing that it's increasing, I now have a 50-50 chance of guessing. And so if it increases the exact same amount, that would be linear. And if it doesn't increase the exact same amount, then it would have to be the other answer. This one is exponential. Okay. And the reason I know it's not linear is because linear would mean like if I added 5 people and then added 5 people and added 5 people and added 5 people, if you add the same amount each time, that would be a linear relation. And since I know it's not linear, then it would be exponential. Okay. Or that's also perhaps referred to as geometric. All right, so let me go back now that my calculator is open, and I just want to go back to. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys can't see that. My mistake. All right, give me just a second here. All right, so I'm going to open up my graphic calculator on my iPad, and I will go to my tools, and I'm going to go to algebra, and I want to solve. And what do I want to solve? I want to solve this equation, 0.1x plus 0.2 times 100. So I'm going to start typing it in just the way it looks. 0.1x plus 0.2 times 100 equals 0.18 times x plus 100. 0.18 times x plus 100. So now I'm going to let the calculator do the work, but I have to tell it what to solve it for. Its calculators are stupid. They don't know what to do exactly unless I tell it. So I'm going to hit comma x. That tells the calculator solve it for x, hit enter, and the answer is 25. So there's a really nice way of using your graphic calculator. I know that that answer is 25. Okay, last one here, number 23. All right, very few of you guys got this correct. So pay attention for 10 seconds. If you see a chart and you see equations, look to plug in numbers. In fact, plug in anything that has a 0 in it and watch how easy this problem is. If I plug in a 0 for y, so I get all of these become zeros, right? Plug in a 0 for y, x equals a, so the answer is a. That's it. I mean, if you recognize that, that will be a really quick, easy question for you. Okay, again, I just noticed that I had a 0 for y, so if I make this 0 and solve it for x, x equals a, which is x equals a, so the answer has to be this. Okay, as opposed to this one, this would be x equals 5a. That's not the answer. All right, any questions on that?